Emma Richardson was sitting in her apartment looking at the letter that said she was fired. This was the time she had read it that week. She had worked hard at Seattle General Hospital for 5 years. Now she was being let go because the hospital did not have enough money. Emma Richardson looked at the letter. The words started to blur together. She felt like crying. She did not let herself. Tears would not help her pay the rent or buy food. Emma Richardson needed to figure out what to do so she could take care of herself. Her phone was ringing on the coffee table. A number she did not know popped up on the screen. Emma waited for a moment before she picked up the phone to answer it. "Miss Richardson? This is Helen Ashford calling for the Ashford family. The Ashford family got your resume from the medical staffing agency?" Emma sat up in her seat. She had mailed her information to an agency the day after she lost her job at that company. She really did not think they would get back to her so fast. Emma was surprised to hear from the agency soon after sending her information to them. "I am Emma. What do you need help with from me, Emma? I need someone to take care of my son. This person will live with us. Get paid $15,000 every month. They will also get a place to stay and food. I was wondering if you would like to come in for a talk about the job." Emma's breath caught in her throat. The amount of money they were offering, $15,000, was 3 times what Emma had been making at the hospital. This $15,000 sounded too good to be true to Emma. Emma wanted to know what they needed. "What are the requirements?" she asked, trying to keep her voice from shaking. "My son Benjamin was in a car accident 6 months ago. He is getting better now. He needs doctors and nurses to look after him all the time. Benjamin also needs help with his therapy. The person who takes care of Benjamin has to be very careful and keep everything. They also have to be committed to helping Benjamin. Can you come to our house for a meeting tomorrow morning at 10 to talk about taking care of Benjamin?" Emma looked around her apartment. It was almost empty. Emma had nothing to lose. "I'll be there." The morning Emma drove through the roads of the fancy Cascade Hills neighborhood. The roads were really windy. There were houses everywhere. Each house was nicer than the one before it. When Emma got to the Ashford estate, she was amazed. The Ashford estate was huge. It covered a lot of land. The house was very modern and made of glass and stone. It looked like a picture from a magazine about houses. Emma thought the Ashford estate was really something. The Ashford estate had a lot of space and a beautiful house. Helen Ashford met Emma at the door. The woman was in her 60s. She had hair that was pulled back in a nice bun. Her green eyes were really sharp. They seemed to see right through Emma. Helen Ashford saw that the woman's eyes were fixed on Emma. The woman had a way of looking at Emma that made her feel like the woman could see everything about her. The woman's green eyes were still fixed on Emma. Helen said to Emma, "You are always on time." I really like that. Then Helen led Emma into the house. The inside of the house was really something, just like the outside. There were windows that went all the way from the floor to the ceiling, and they looked out over a beautiful garden. The walls had expensive artwork on them. Emma felt like she did not belong there. All she was wearing a simple black dress and had on her practical flats. The interior of the house, the interior was just so fancy, and Emma was not used to that. She was used to things like her simple black dress and her practical flats, and the interior of the house was really making her feel out of place. Helen said that her son is doing okay now. He can be really tough to deal with. They were walking down a long hallway when she told them this. "My son has had 5 people taking care of him in the last 4 months. None of these people were able to handle my son's temper or all the things he wants." Emma nodded to herself, taking it all in. She had seen a lot of patients in her time. The woman could definitely handle something like this with the patients. Helen stopped outside a door, knocked 2 times before she went in. The room was really big. It had a lot of medical stuff in it, like machines to help people exercise, and a special bed that looked like it belonged in a fancy hotel. There was a man sitting in a wheelchair near the window. His back was turned to Helen, and medical equipment, and the exercise machines, and the special hospital bed that had been made to look like a luxury bed. "Benjamin, your new caretaker, is here. This is Emma Richardson." Emma felt her heart stop for a second. Benjamin Ashford was not as old as she thought he would be. He had hair that fell over his forehead. His blue eyes looked at her with a lot of doubt. Even though he was sitting down, Emma could tell he used to be really good at sports before he got hurt. His arms were still strong. His legs were covered with a blanket. Benjamin said, "Another one?" You could hear the sarcasm in his voice. He was talking to his mother. Benjamin asked her, "How long do you think this one will last, Mother? Will it be a week? Will we be lucky? And it will be 2 weeks." Helen said to Benjamin, "Please." She really meant it when she said that to Benjamin. Helen was being very serious. She wanted Benjamin to listen to her. Emma took a step forward. She looked at him with a calm and confident face. "Mr. Ashford, I am here to help you get better," she said. "I've been taking care of patients for 5 years now. I know a lot about helping people like you. The thing about me is that I do not give up on people like Mr. Ashford. I will keep trying to help Mr. Ashford recover." Something flickered in Benjamin's eyes. It was surprise. Maybe it was curiosity? Benjamin said, "We will see about that." The first week went by fast. Emma got into a routine. She would wake up at 6 in the morning. Emma helped Benjamin with his exercises every day. She also gave him his medications, checked his vital signs. Emma made sure Benjamin did his activities. Benjamin was really tough on Emma. He said mean things to her and wanted her to do things that were not fair. Emma did not get upset. Emma stayed calm, did her job. She also saw something. Victoria Hayes, who was Benjamin's business partner, came to the house every day. This woman was 35 or 40 years old. She always looked great and carried a leather briefcase with her. Victoria Hayes smiled nicely at Emma. Emma could see something cold in Victoria Hayes' eyes. On her day, Emma was going through Benjamin's medication and she saw something that did not seem right. The amount of medicine on one of the bottles was different from what was written in Benjamin's chart. She looked at the doctor's orders again, found out that she was correct. Someone had changed the schedule for Benjamin's medication. Emma was looking at Benjamin's medication. She found this problem with the medication schedule for Benjamin. Emma's hands shook a little as she held the bottle. This was a problem. Somebody did this on purpose. They changed Benjamin's prescription. If Benjamin's prescription was changed, and he took the amount that would explain why Benjamin is not getting better very fast, Emma was worried about Benjamin and the prescription. She found Helen in the study going over the household accounts. She was sitting there looking at all the household accounts. The household accounts were spread out over the table. "I really need to talk to Mrs. Ashford about something that cannot wait. It is very important that I speak with Mrs. Ashford as soon as possible. Mrs. Ashford needs to know what is going on. I have to tell her now." Helen looked up. You could see the worry on her face. She said, "What is it?" Emma told her what she had discovered. She showed her the differences between the bottles and the chart. Helen's face got darker and darker as Emma said each word. Emma was talking about the bottles and the chart. Helen did not like what Emma was saying about the bottles and the chart. Helen said this quietly. "This is the time something like this has happened." The other caretaker, the one before her, said something like that too, before she decided to quit her job. She felt like someone was trying to... A chill ran down her spine. She asked the question that was on her mind. "Do you know who might have access to Benjamin's medications?" Emma wanted to know about Benjamin's medications. She was really worried about Benjamin's medications. Who could get to them? People who have access to the house are family, the medical staff, and Victoria. Victoria has a key to the house. She often works late in Benjamin's office. This is because Victoria usually stays back for a time in Benjamin's office. Emma's mind was really racing. Victoria had the means to do this and the opportunity. What would be Victoria's motive for doing something like this? Emma needed to find out more about Victoria's actions. Emma had to be very careful. If Victoria was actually behind this thing, then confronting Victoria directly could be very dangerous. For Emma that evening, Emma knocked on Benjamin's door after he had finished his dinner. Benjamin was sitting there reading a business report. He looked really frustrated. "With it, Mr. Ashford, I was wondering if I could ask you something that's kind of personal." He looked up, surprised by the tone of the woman. "What is it that is bothering you?" Your business partner, Victoria, is someone you work with. How much do you really trust Victoria? Benjamin's jaw got really tight. He said, "Why are you asking me that?" Emma took a breath, and then she told him all about what she had found out. She saw the look on his face change as she was talking. At first, he did not believe her, then he got really mad. After that, he looked scared. Emma saw the fear in his eyes when she was talking about what she had discovered. Before I got into that accident, Victoria was always telling me that I should give her some of my part of the company. She said this would be good for the company because we could get bigger. I did not want to do that. I was worried that if something bad happened to me, or if people thought I was not able to make decisions, the people in charge of the company could decide to take my shares of the company. Benjamin said this slowly. Victoria had been saying that signing over part of the company would help the company expand. Benjamin refused to do that. Emma felt her stomach drop. She thought about what would happen if she was not getting better fast, as she should be, or if her health was actually getting worse instead of getting better. Benjamin said this. His voice was really tough. He was worried that people might say he is not good enough to be in charge of the company. Benjamin looked at Emma. Said, "Emma, I really need your help with this. We have to find out what Victoria is up to. We have to stop Victoria before Victoria does something bad and it is too late to fix it. We need to stop Victoria." Emma nodded to herself, feeling determined. She had come to this place to find a job. What she found was something way more important. She found someone who really needed her help. She was not going to let anyone hurt Benjamin. Over the 3 days, Emma and Benjamin worked together in secret. During the day, Emma did her job of taking care of people, but in the evening, she wrote down every little thing that did not seem right in Benjamin's medical records. Emma spent her evenings doing this carefully. Benjamin started looking at company papers on his laptop. He was trying to find anything that had to do with Victoria. Benjamin wanted to see if there was something going on with Victoria. What they found out was really bad. Even worse than they had thought it would be. They had imagined some things, but what they discovered was even worse than that. Victoria was making it hard for Benjamin to get better. She had been doing this for months. Emma found some bad stuff. 3 people who used to take care of Benjamin said that someone was messing with his medicine. When they tried to look into it, they got into trouble and had to quit. Benjamin saw some papers that showed Victoria was talking to the people in charge one by one. She was telling them that they would make money if they gave her control of Benjamin's shares. Benjamin said this one evening. He sounded really upset and angry. She has been thinking about this for a time, even before I got into that accident, he said. Look at this paper. She made some changes to her insurance policy on the company. She did this 2 weeks before my car crashed. I think she knew something bad was going to happen to me. She knew something was going to happen with the company. That is why she increased her insurance policy on the company. Kima felt sick. People were asking if Emma was the one who caused the accident. Benjamin said he did not know. The police thought it was an accident. Benjamin's brakes stopped working on a mountain road. Now Benjamin thinks that maybe someone messed with his brakes. Benjamin is still thinking about what happened to his brakes. Emma put her hand on his shoulder. We need proof of the situation. The proof has to be good enough to stand up in court. If we do not have that kind of proof, she will just say, we are making it all up. That will make us look like we are crazy. We need proof of what happened so that she cannot deny the truth about the situation. Benjamin looked up at Emma, and for the time since they met, Emma saw vulnerability in Benjamin's eyes. Benjamin was really struggling. Why are you doing this, Benjamin? Emma asked him. You could just walk away from this now, Benjamin, and find another job that is easier for you. This is not Benjamin's problem to deal with. Emma smiled softly. She said, I do not give up easily. Someone told me that giving up is just not what I do. You need me. I need to feel like I helped someone. I need to know that I made a difference for someone like you. Something special happened between Benjamin and her in that moment. They understood each other in a way that was more than just Benjamin being the boss and her being the employee. Benjamin reached up, took her hand, squeezing Benjamin's employee's hand gently. Thank you, Emma. The big moment happened on Thursday evening. Travis Monroe, who was Benjamin's therapist, came over for a session and said something that really caught Emma's attention. Travis Monroe was talking to Emma. He said something that made her stop and think about it. Benjamin's physical therapy. Travis said to Benjamin, "You are doing a lot better now. It has been 2 weeks. I can see the difference. Before this, it seemed like you were not getting better. In fact, you seemed to get worse after we did the exercises. I was worried that the therapy was not going to work for you." Travis helped Benjamin with the leg exercises. He wanted to make sure Benjamin was doing them correctly. Travis said, "I am glad to see that the therapy is finally working for you, Benjamin." Emma and Benjamin exchanged knowing looks. Emma had been giving the amount of medicine to Benjamin for the past 2 weeks. The improvement in Benjamin was really something. He was getting stronger and able to move around than anyone thought he would. Emma was happy to see Benjamin getting better. The medicine was clearly working for Benjamin. "Travis, I want to ask you something," Emma said. She said it in a way. "Did Victoria ever give Benjamin his medications when you were around?" Emma asked Travis. Travis looked unhappy. Thought for a moment. "This has happened at times, yes. She told me she was lending a hand when the caretaker had a lot to do." "What is the reason you were asking about this?" Emma said that she was just curious about his routine. The truth is that her heart was beating really fast. She said this in a casual way. Emma was asking about his routine because she really wanted to know what he does every day. His routine was something that Emma thought about a lot. After Travis left, Emma turned to Benjamin. She said, "We need to set a trap for Victoria. If we can catch Victoria messing with your medication, we will have the proof we need about Victoria." Benjamin nodded slowly. He said, "I have an idea about this." Then he just said, "I have an idea." The idea that Benjamin had was an idea. Benjamin thought that his idea was the thing. Benjamin said that he would tell everyone about his idea. The evening Benjamin called Victoria and asked Victoria to come by the house to look at some very important business documents that needed to be taken care of right away. Meanwhile, Emma put a camera in the bookshelf that was right across from Benjamin's medicine cabinet, and she pointed the camera so it would take a picture of anyone who came near the medicine cabinet. Victoria got to the place at 7. She was wearing a business suit and had her briefcase with her. Victoria greeted Benjamin with a warm smile. This smile made Emma feel very uncomfortable. Victoria was being very friendly to Benjamin. Benjamin said thank you for taking the time to meet with him. He was sitting in his wheelchair. "The papers for the merger are in his office," he told them. He asked if they would get the papers for him. "They are in the drawer of his desk." Victoria said that, of course. Then she got up, walked out of the room really smoothly. When she left, Benjamin quickly signaled to Emma. He told her to look at the camera feed on his laptop. Benjamin wanted Emma to see what was happening on the camera feed on his laptop. Emma pulled up the feed just as Victoria entered the room. Victoria did not go to the office like Emma thought she would. Instead, Victoria looked around the room quickly. Then, she went to the medication cabinet. Victoria took out a bottle from the cabinet. She took another bottle from her briefcase that looked like the one she took out. Victoria put the bottle. Emma felt happy and proud of herself. The people had taken a picture of her on a camera. Emma was really thrilled that they had caught her on the camera. When Victoria came back with the papers, Benjamin looked really upset. He was not showing his feelings. You could tell he was angry. "Victoria, before we talk about work, I want to ask you something," he said. "Why have you been messing with the medicine that I take?" Victoria's face turned white, then it got all red because she was so angry. "I do not know what you were talking about," Victoria said. "This is just stupid," Victoria thought to herself. She told the other person that this was ridiculous, which made Victoria even more angry. Emma said, "We have video evidence and a voice." She turned the laptop around so Victoria could see the video. The laptop showed the footage that Emma wanted Victoria to see. Victoria was going to watch the video evidence. On the laptop that Emma was showing her, Victoria's calm face started to break down. Her eyes moved quickly from Benjamin to Emma and back to Benjamin as she thought about what she could do. Then Victoria let out a laugh. She told him that he had no idea what he had done. The company was something she had built too, just like Benjamin had. Benjamin was the one who got all the credit and all the control. She was the one who did the work. When Benjamin had his accident, she saw a chance to get what she really deserved, what the company was to her. The company was something she had put her heart into, just like Benjamin had. Benjamin said this in a cold voice. "You think you can hurt me by poisoning me? They are not trying to poison us. They just want to keep us dependent on them and confused. This way the board will vote to give them control." It would have actually worked if we had not hired someone who really knows what they are doing for a change. The person we hired is actually competent. That is why their plan did not work. Benjamin picked up his phone. He said, "I am going to call the police and my lawyer now. You are in trouble, Victoria. The police and my lawyer are going to deal with you, Victoria." Victoria's face was really angry. She did not say another word. In an hour, the police came to the place and they took Victoria away. They had a lot of proof, like the video that showed what happened and the medical records that Emma had written down carefully. The video footage and the medical records were very clear, so the police had a case against Victoria. 2 months later, Emma was standing in Benjamin's room. She saw Benjamin walk across the floor. He was using a cane to help him. Benjamin's recovery was going really well now that he was getting the treatment. The board had decided to get rid of Victoria. Now they were in trouble with the law because of what they did to help with the conspiracy. Against Benjamin, Benjamin stopped in front of Emma, said, "I could not have done this without you." He looked at Emma, told her, "You saved my life and my company." Benjamin asked Emma, "How can I ever repay you for saving my life and my company?" Benjamin really wanted to know how he could repay Emma for what she had done. Emma smiled. "You already did that for me. You gave me something to focus on when I really needed it. That was a purpose." Benjamin reached out, gently tucked a strand of hair behind Emma's ear. He said to Emma, "Emma, the time we spent together these months has really made me think. You are not just the person who takes care of me. Emma has become the person I care about the most in my life. I was wondering if Emma would like to stay with me, not as the person I pay to take care of me, as something more with Benjamin." Emma's heart felt really happy. She came to this house feeling very sad and alone. She got better here. This house helped Benjamin. It also helped Emma. Emma found peace and happiness for herself in this house. "Yes," she whispered. "That sounds really great to me. I like that much." Benjamin pulled Emma close, kissed her softly. The sun was setting outside the window over the Cascade Hills. It made the sky look really pretty with all the gold and pink colors. Emma knew this was not the end for her and Benjamin. This was the start. They had been through some times together. They had to deal with people betraying them and putting them in danger. They made it through all that, and they came out on top, Emma and Benjamin did. And now, together, they would build